You guys inspire me just being on this podcast. Support. If a giver, a listener, or viewer says, "Hey, I want to support the McCrossin Boys Ranch Foundation or McCrossin Boys Ranch or Her Life Coach Foundation," what can you tell those people? How will that impact your organizations, and what will that be for the future? So
all of our cash donations go right back into the programming for the boys. So we have an accredited school out there. There's always needs there. New programming in the cottages. And our kids too, and especially at the holidays. I mean, they want the same things every other kid wants, and so it's we have put a link on our website too to Amazon, a list where they can go. Somebody can go right on our website there and look up what the kids need, and some of it is just basic stuff,
Right.
It's kind of funny because it could be underwear, socks, but they love things like wireless headphones and stuff like that, like a lot of other kids do, or shoes or jerseys, all of that kind of stuff. And I can tell you, after being here as many years as I have been in Sioux Falls, people really rise up and really help these kids, and cash donations are always very much appreciated too. It's expensive to try to raise kids,
It is.
and when you have 50 or 60 of them, it definitely is. But I wouldn't want to do anything else in my life than what I'm doing right now. So
yeah, you're amazing, Ryan. So yeah.
Love that.
Oh my gosh.
You can see why I like him, right? Young nonprofit guy like me, I'll keep staying as close as I can to Brian and learning from the example you set. I tell you, when I think about the impact of gifts and donations to Hurdle Life Coach Foundation, we have two main programs. One's called the Change Program. The Change Program stands for Challenging Historically Accepted Notions for Greater Expectations. And it's a spirit that I, adopted and created for myself, an acronym in college that helped to drive me beyond what society said I was projected to be based on where I was born and who I was born to. And so all of our students are introduced to this concept of change right away. We're in the welcome letter. It's like, here's change, and this is what change means, and this is what it means to us, and this is what it can mean to you if you choose to adopt this. That you can see your current conditions in your environment, and you can challenge historically accepted notions for greater expectations on your life. Just because no one in your family has gone to college doesn't mean you can't be the first. Just because someone hasn't ever ran and operated a business in your life, in your family, doesn't mean you can't be the first. Just because you're a teen parent right now and you're paying the consequence for your choices doesn't mean you are not going to finish high school, or you can't go to college and still become the doctor that you aspire to be. So, what we do in the Change Program is evoke that message, but we also are very intentional about other life skills, job skills, and character. And we do that. Our vision is across 7 different pillars of the Change Program. So we have a pillar called Getting Grounded for middle school students. Freshmen and sophomores, we have one called Getting Started. Juniors and seniors, we have one called Going Forward. We have 2 in there for youth and adults, for youth and adults who have struggled with healthy boundaries. And then I get really excited about the other 2, the young adult, 18 to 25. We have one called Getting Launched that we focus on identity and independence. That's a real critical time in a lot of people's lives. Kind of when they turn 18 years old and they may be aging out the system or moving out the home, and what next? What now? There's a lot of post-secondary pathways for people that are 18 to 25, workforce, military, college, tech schools. Who's there to help them navigate that space? We're one of those options at Hurdle Life. So being able to do that, Getting Launched, and then the adult reintegration program, I already kind of talked about those adults impacted by incarceration. But with donor dollars, what we'll be able to do is grow our base of facilitators. Right now, we're 1.5. members on our staff, and then everyone else is volunteering their time. If we can start to really get those dollars in, what I can be able to do is be able to hire more group facilitators with credible messages like my own that will help me to really fully launch all 7 of those programs. We've done some of those 7. We haven't done all of those 7. So we really are eager to get into that middle school and do that getting grounded. We are eager to do more into the young adults, and we are going back to the high schools this year. Actually just had a meeting with Washington High School. We're going to do an after-school program with their youth there. So we're already having an impact with our high schoolers, but we want to grow more into those young adults and adult programs in addition to our middle school programs. And then we also have a second program called Crisis Care, which is immediate financial rescue for adults who have been released from incarceration inside of 3 years. You know, when you look at the recidivism rates and how they rate it, they'll tell you that 2/3 of the people who are released from incarceration go back to prison within 3 years, and over 50% within their first year. Well, that is partly because of the crises that they face in that first year, the financial crisis, the different types of crises. And so we have a program that allows for us to be there for them up to 4 times a year, up to $150 per request, and we will help rescue them through a financial crisis where it might be gas, it might be food, it might be hygiene products, but we get to show up as benevolence and generosity to people who don't have people showing up for them. So through the donations and gifts of the community, we're able to be that compassion, be able to be that rescue through that crisis care program as well.
Whew. You guys are on fire. Terry's bringing it, Brian. Man, you guys,
you know
great
what?
energy.
You know what? Too, you need to come out for a graduation ceremony.
Yeah,
at
I'll
the
be a
ranch
great
sometime.
commencement speaker.
Well, I'll tell you what. What you just said though about how people try to break out of these molds and not believing that they can they can ever because hey, my dad went to prison, my uncles, my grandfather, and that cycle needs to be broke. And so we try to teach the kids that they're the ones who can break it. And also when we have graduation, I can't tell you how many we've had where we're crying, they're crying because they're the first in their family tree ever.
That's right.
To graduate from high school.
It's amazing.
So those are amazing times out there.
Let's
I
do
just love graduation day. And we graduate kids whenever they are done. And we do caps and gowns. We do the whole ceremony. We have just a time of fellowship afterwards with cake and ice cream and all the stuff you would do at a regular graduation. If it's one kid, and I think a big class for us, I think the biggest class we've ever had is 6.
Oh, really?
All at once. But yet we graduate more kids from McCrossin High School than 60 other small districts in South Dakota. So it's a cool time.
Oh,
Very
gosh.
cool time.
I'd love to do it.
Yeah.